Welcome to Baugan Inglés 4.0, the radio show with Kyle Miller. Following class by class, step by step, the material of Baugan Inglés 4.0 on Aprende Inglés TV. Class 161. Let's go! Beginner. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the beginner portion. The first portion. The first third. El primer tercio. The first third of today's program. Because after this, I continue with the intermediate program and then the advanced. But today, we will start class number 161 with some very important verbs, including to eat and to drink. Comer y beber, claro, muy importantes. Very, very important. Yes, comer, to eat. Every day I eat. Yesterday I ate. We saw this a few classes ago. We can review now. Drink. Every day I drink. Yesterday I drank. Levantarse. ¿Cómo era? Levantarse. Por la mañana, to get up. Levantarse. Every morning I get up at 7 o'clock. Yesterday, I got up at 7 o'clock. Acostarse. To go to bed. To go to bed. I went to bed at 12 o'clock last night. And gritar. The verb to shout. Shout. Every day I shout. Yesterday I shouted. So ask me if I drank a coffee yesterday. Kyle, did you drink a coffee yesterday? Yes, I did. Yes, I drank a coffee yesterday. Ask me if I got up before 6 o'clock yesterday. Ask me if I got up before 6 o'clock yesterday. Kyle, did you get up before 6 o'clock yesterday? No, I didn't. I woke up, but I didn't get up. I woke up and I went back to sleep. I didn't get up before 6 o'clock. Ask me if I went to bed early last night. Ask me in voz alta. Kyle, did you go to bed early last night? Yes, I did. I went to bed early. I went to bed at 11:30. Well, or maybe 12. I can't remember, 11:30 or 12. Ask me if I shouted at my roommate last night. Mi compañero de piso, my roommate. Kyle, did you shout at your roommate last night? No, I didn't shout at my roommate last night. Ask me if I shouted in Spanish last week. Kyle, did you shout in Spanish last week? No, I didn't. I didn't shout in Spanish last week. Ask me if I shouted in English last week. Kyle, did you shout in English last week? No, I didn't shout in English last week. Ask me if I shouted at my brother yesterday. On the telephone, because my brother doesn't live in Spain. Kyle, did you shout at your brother on the telephone? On the telephone yesterday. No, I didn't shout at my brother on the telephone yesterday. No, I didn't. It's time to move on, ladies and gentlemen. What time is it? It's time for the translation. Ah, that's right. It is time for our translation list. List number 58. A little review with list number 58. Number 1. ¿Por qué me conoce? Ella. ¿Por qué me conoce? Why does she know me? Why does she know me? Number 2. ¿Trabaja en la misma empresa que tú? En voz alta, ¿cómo es? Trabaja. Entonces, ella. So, does she Does she work in the same company as you? Does she work in the same company as you? Number 3. Conduce? Does she drive? Does she drive? Number 4. ¿Tiene mucho dinero? Does she have a lot of money? Does she have a lot of money? Number 5. ¿Por qué viene aquí tan a menudo? Why does she come here so often? Why? Why does she come here so often? Number 6. ¿Le gustas? Does she like you? Does she like you? Number 7. ¿Te gusta ella? Do you like her? Do you like her? ¿Te gusta ella? So, ¿le gustas? Does she like you? ¿Te gusta ella? Do you like her? Number 8. ¿Con qué frecuencia la ves? How often do you see her? ¿Con qué frecuencia? How often? How often do you see her? Number 9. ¿A dónde la llevas los fines de semana? Where do you take her on the weekends? Where do you take her on the weekends? Number 10. ¿Le gusta a ella ir a la playa? Does she like to go to the beach? Does she like to go to the beach? Number 11. ¿Vas a casarte con ella? Are you going to marry her? Are you going to marry her? Number 12. ¿A dónde vas a llevarla este fin de semana? Where are you going to take her this weekend? Where are you going to take her this weekend? Este fin de semana. Where are you going to take her this weekend? All right, very good. Hopefully you do well. Hopefully you're doing all right with those sentences and doing better when we review them. Hopefully, espero que estás haciendo mejor. I hope you're doing better when we review them. On the second day, when we review. But now let's move on to something new. That's right, our word of the day. Word of the day. Ah, yes, it is time for the word of the day. The word of the day today is profundo. En inglés se dice deep. 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 Profundo. Deep. Yes, like the deep water in the swimming pool. The deep end. Deep. The opposite of deep with water in a swimming pool, for example, the opposite is shallow. Shallow. Poco profundo. Shallow. If you dive into the water, you want to dive into deep water, not shallow water. Dive into the deep water. Yes. Okay, now as we move into class number 161, we see the verbs to arrive, llegar, and the verb to leave. So to arrive and to leave. The opposite, salir, irse. So did the train arrive at 3 o'clock? Did the train arrive at 3 o'clock? Yes, the train arrived at 3 o'clock. Arrive, yesterday it arrived. It arrived at 3 o'clock. Did it arrive on time? Yes, it arrived on time. Did the flight arrive late? Yes, the flight arrived late. But did it leave on time? Did it leave? Did it salir? Did it leave the airport, for example? Did it leave on time? Yes, it left on time. Every day I leave. Yesterday I left. Did it leave on time? Yes, it left on time. Ask me what time I left the studio yesterday. Kyle, what time did you leave the studio yesterday? I left the studio at 9 p.m., 9 o'clock. Yes, I did. I left the studio at 9 o'clock. Did the flight, el vuelo, the flight, did the flight leave at 12 o'clock? Give me an affirmative answer. Yes, the flight left at 12 o'clock. Did you leave your house at 8 o'clock? Yes, I left my house at 8 o'clock. Did you leave with anyone? Yes, I left with someone. Did you leave alone? No, I didn't leave alone. Did you leave on foot? Andando. On foot. Pie. On foot. Andando. Walking. Did you leave on foot? Yes, I left on foot. I walked. Every morning I leave my house at about 7:30. I leave my house at 7:30. I leave on foot, and I walk. I walk to Moncloa every morning. This is true. I walk to Moncloa. I leave my house at 7:30. I walk to Moncloa. I get on a bus. The bus leaves the Moncloa station at about 7:50 or 10 to 8. And I go to Aravaca. I get to Aravaca. I arrive in Aravaca at about 8:15. It's true, yeah. I usually arrive on time. I pocas veces, seldom arrive late. I usually arrive on time. I sometimes arrive a little bit early. All right, so to arrive and to leave. Let's move on now and take a look at our vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. Yes, it is time for the vocabulary of the day. Our first word today, al principio. Al principio, we say at first. At first. Al principio, at first. At first. Did you think that I was British at first? Yes, Kyle, I thought you were British at first. Okay. Comparado con. This is compared to or compared with. Compared with the British accent, my accent is, well, noticeably different. Compared to or compared with. Comparado con. Algo frío. Fresco. Cool. We say cool. Durante. Durante, during. During. But durante can also be for. Yes, I was in the office during the morning. I was in the office for 1 hour. During tells us when something happened. For tells us how long it lasted. Okay? I lived in Holland during 2003. I lived in Holland for 6 months. If I say I lived in Holland during 2003, it does not mean that I was there for all of 2003. It just means, en este año, había un momento que viví ahí. There was a moment when I lived there. I lived there during 2003. I didn't live there for all of 2003. I lived there for 6 months. I lived there during 2003. Énfasis. emphasis. Emphasis, we say. Emphasis, very simple. To put emphasis on. Okay. Let's move on now to the last part of our class, where we have some questions in the third person. We're using frequency adverbs. Ask me if my brother always walks to work. Kyle, does your brother always walk to work? Yes, he always walks to work. Ask me if he ever takes a taxi. Kyle, does he ever take a taxi? No, he doesn't. He never takes a taxi. Ask me if he always wears a tie. Does he always wear a tie? No, he doesn't. He doesn't always wear a tie. Ask me if he ever wears a tie. Does he ever wear a tie? Yes, he sometimes wears a tie, but he seldom wears a tie. Muy pocas veces. He seldom wears a tie. Ask me if he always has lunch at home. Does he always have lunch at home? No, he doesn't. He doesn't always have lunch at home. Ask me if he ever has lunch at home. Does he ever have lunch at home? Yes, he sometimes has lunch at home. But he doesn't usually have lunch at home. He occasionally has lunch at home. Ask me if he often has lunch in a cafeteria. Does he often have lunch in a cafeteria? Yes, he does. Ask me if he ever eats fish. Does he ever eat fish? No, he doesn't. He doesn't like fish, so he never eats it. Ask me if he sometimes eats pasta. Kyle, does your brother, does he sometimes eat pasta? Yes, he sometimes eats pasta. All right. So very important there. It's very important to practice with those frequency adverbs. We'll practice a bit more tomorrow because we're out of time. I hope you will tune in your radio again tomorrow at the same time, and we'll practice more together. Thanks for listening. Keep studying. Keep studying, keep reading, keep listening, keep making that effort. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.